Hi guys, so in this video today I'm going to show you how I built this walnut herringbone table with metal legs. So if you're interested in seeing this project, stay tuned. Okay, so first step is to run your board through your jointer, making this first side perfectly flat. Then you're using the face jointed side against your fence and you are getting a perpendicular side. And once it's done, it should look something like this. Next is to run your board through your planer using the first side that you jointed on the bottom, making the top side parallel. Finally, you can use the jointed edge against the fence of your table saw and cut the opposite side. So now that your lumber is milled, you can start assembling your pattern. So because you are gluing edge grain to end grain, you want to make sure that you're placing at least some dowels. So that's what I'm doing here. And before any glue up, I always make sure that I dry fit my pieces just to make sure that my alignments are kept. You can then lay your first corner down and it's time to clamp it, but you want to make sure that you are keeping your 90 degrees perfect, because this is the base of all the other patterns, and after that, if your first base is not right, the rest won't be. So now this is what I'm doing. I'm gluing the second row, and each time I'm doing a glue up, I wait until it's fully cured to go on to the next one. So for this table, it takes a total of 7 glue up to achieve the whole length of the table. So now that all the glue ups are done, I can cut the tip of my table using my track saw and place that part at the very start of the table. My final glue up was a little tricky because my clamps weren't long enough, but I had some long pipe clamps, and by using a set of 2, I was able to perform the glue up. Finally, it was time to see what the table would look like. So I grabbed my track saw again and I cut the table to length. I cut the 2 long edges at first and then 2 perpendicular side. And the final dimension of this table is 42 inches by 60 inches. I gave the table a nice 1/4 inch round over using my handheld trim router. I decided to install some C-channels on the underside of the table, and for this I picked up some 2x1 steel, and to cut out the legs of the steel in the table I used my track saw. A lot of people prefer using the router method, but I found it to be a lot time consuming. So with the track saw, you want to be very careful and set up your depth at 1 inch. Otherwise you will be cutting all the way through, and you definitely don't want that. So now it's every woodworker's favorite time. It's sanding time. So for sanding, I use my 6-inch orbital sander from Bosch. I think it's a good sander. It's a little loud, but it gets the work done. I would definitely recommend using the 6-inch version instead of the 5-inch because you cut your sanding by a lot of time. But in terms of sanding, I do 80 grit, then 120, then I water pump the table, I wait till it dries, and then I sand at 180 grit. And then finally, this time for real, every woodworker's favorite time, the time that you are applying your finish, because that's when you are able to tell how pretty it looks. So I'm mixing some 2-part Rubio monocoat, and I am just spreading it using a spatula, and after that I just buff it and it's done. It doesn't take much time and it really gives a nice professional finish. And after installing the legs, this is the final look. I would like to know what you guys think about it. Feel free to share, feel free to show to your uncles, Honestly, I would like some feedbacks. I'll have more projects like this coming up. Thank you for watching.